Because like I showed up super early and like all I saw was America fans. Like everywhere I turned, there's one. And I'd be like, hey, you dropped something. They'd look down. I'm like, red card. Welcome back to another episode of City Refs, the unofficial officials. I'm your boy Mondo. We got Varsity Dan, and we're here with the South End supporters, David and Eric.
How's it going?
Yeah, thanks for coming on the pod. It's been an awesome collab.
Yeah, man, thanks for having us. Super excited to do this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you had a hilarious story about your name. I was like, what do you go by, Eric? And he's like, well,
yeah, I think
get into it.
David and like my in-laws are the only ones who call me Eric anymore. I've gone by Cole, which is my last name my whole life. And I remember the first time I met South End Stan, my father-in-law, he was like, he went to my wife and he was like, wait, Cole or Eric? I thought you were dating somebody named Cole. And I was like, my initial reaction was like, what the hell? You're dating somebody else? Like, right behind my back? And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm Eric. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. I mean, he goes by many names.
Yeah, what is with Varsity Dan?
Let's get into
That's a new one.
I've not heard that.
Oh man. So in one of the episodes, this dude got so cocky. He was like, I'm confident in my striking. I used to be a number 9 back in the day.
I would say drunk more than cocky.
Yeah. Well, the two go hand in hand.
Same thing.
As you get drunker, you get cocky.
Speaking on drunk, cheers, boys.
Yes.
First
So it was
collab.
first drink. We opened this like 5 minutes ago. We haven't been able to drink it yet because you wanted the reaction live.
live review. Daniel slid him a 20, said better be good.
No, that is great. Big fan.
Oh my God.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect. The branding's awesome. The beer tastes great. I'm not like an IPA fan, right? And I remember you saying that whenever you had this deal come out. I like light beers, and I don't want to call it that, but this is very good. You know, very good, refreshing. This is great.
I love that it's right up the road for me. Like, I think it's funny that when we first started talking, you guys were like, we thought you were in St. Louis, and we were like, we thought you were in St. Louis. But it turns out we're both on the Illinois side of the river. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is funny. Like, it's a small world.
Yeah.
And then to find out, like, all of us are on the Illinois side, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I used to live in Collinsville. He lives in Collinsville now. When I lived in Collinsville, I was at Old Herald probably once a week for brunch, you know? So
Now you got a reason to go
go in there. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Legit. Yeah. I'm going to have that with that jalapeno jam burger they got going there.
Oh, yeah.
Throw that.
go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, brother.
There's only one way to test that theory.
But, we wanted to, talk about, like, how you guys met, like, you two.
Yeah, funny, kind of an interesting story. Obviously, he's married to my sister now. What did you guys get married in, like 14 or 15?
16.
16? I was drunk at that wedding. We lived together. So my cousin Ryan, we had moved out to Maryland Heights. So we did move, lived on the other side of the river there for a bit. And you guys were playing soccer out at Mobap?
Yeah, we both got college offers. We were playing at Southwest Illinois, and then we both got.
Both of you did?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Me and his cousin.
Okay.
And then we both got offers to Mobap, and then when we were moving, I was like, "Oh, sweet, we should room together." And he was like, I found a place, and I have my cousin will move in," and that was the first time I met him, and that was in 2009.
Yeah, it was 2009. We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment out there in Maryland Heights. I think the first night I ate all of your food. It
was the first time I ever lived on my own. I was so proud. I brought my first thing of groceries, and then that night
I'm just like housing a turkey sandwich right in front of you.
We celebrated drinking and having a good time, and then I literally opened up fresh pack of deli meat and put it all on a sandwich and was like, "You buy good meat," and I was just sitting there like, "Yeah."
And we've been inseparable ever since.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you give him that compliment, you buy good meat.
He made a lot of hot ham and cheese sandwiches back in the day.
Yeah, I was known for that, man. Yeah.
Oh man, hey, that's a good rep to go by.
Yeah. So about a month in, I think we had like a feel out period, and then he was going to broadcast school at the time, and it was a one day where his cousin was out of the room, and he was like, "Would you read lines with me?" And I was just like, "Yeah, okay." And then that night we hit it off, and then
played a lot of Tiger Woods, drank a lot of beer.
Yeah, but this dude, he's the type where if he slices the first drive, he restarts the whole match, and then you have to pick your golfer again. He's not. He's not legit on
Yeah,
that.
we play a little PGA.
Yeah, during the pandemic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
of
playing
course.
all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, this dude was destroying me for a while.
Yeah.
Then we'd go
Yeah,
out to
pretty
the
good.
real golf course.
Then let him know.
Then we'd both be bad. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I was gonna say like the first time I listened to you guys, I was like, man, they got some good voices.
Well, we try. We try.
So
That's really how this whole thing kind of developed between the two of us, right? Obviously, brother-in-laws were around each other quite a bit, and he had sort of pitched that idea to do a podcast to me, and it made sense because like I was in radio for 3 years. I got out of the business because it's terrible. I mean, you don't make any money. You grind and work long hours, and but I did it, for like I said, for a couple of years, and it was always kind of a labor of love for me. I like doing it. I like talking sports. I like just talking in general. It doesn't have to be sports. It could be about whatever topic that I'm interested in. And with this whole soccer thing, he and I, with our family, had season tickets, and he had mentioned to me, hey, this would be something I'm kind of interested in doing. And I said, great. I think that the way that like my strengths and your strengths can align, whereas I can kind of drive the show, and then you can come back with a lot of the the expertise and like the analysis side of it, and really make this thing tick. And that's really what happens. Like I think we fill each other's gaps a lot, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys like fit well together. You can tell like there's never some dull moments. It just bounces off each other. It's kind of like us too, and that's why I enjoy listening to you guys.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, same.
I think it comes out in the podcast though, like when you can see like they get along, or they'd be doing this whether the thing was rolling or not. And that's what it was. We had dinners at his dad's house, and we found ourselves talking about the team anyway. And so I was like, why don't we like record this? And that's out of my league. So I was like, he's got the voice, like he'll carry this, and I'll
golden voice,
the expertise part. I don't know about that, but yeah.
Well, you know more than me, because when I did my first episode, I knew most of the players. That was like the extent of my soccer knowledge, right? I didn't have a lot of it. I didn't grow up a soccer fan necessarily, but I got so hooked on the atmosphere and the team and everything, like City Park, St. Louis City. Like I was just hooked, And so whenever he had brought it up to me, like I said, I mean, it was dominating the conversations at dinner. We talked about it nonstop anyway.
Yeah.
So it made a lot of sense, but I was like, man, I got to learn. And this goes back to us kind of playing off one another's strengths, is that like I can't carry a soccer podcast, right? I don't know enough about soccer to be able to do that. And, for him, he's never done this type of thing before. This steps out of his comfort zone quite a bit, to be able to do this anyway. So that's where it kind of came. It's like, okay, look, I can carry this part of it. You got to carry this part of it. And together we'll get through it.
That sounds good. And then so getting everything, like the equipment, getting it, like how did that start up?
Internet, Google.
Just Google.
I was like, what do you need to start a podcast? And like the bare essentials, because it was kind of like, is this going to work? Like, are we going to like this? Is this going to be something we pick up? So you don't want to like go full bore and then be like, 2 weeks in and be like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
This guy was a complete opposite.
Was he just like,
hey,
I was
you want
all
to do
in.
a podcast? He was like driving home from Kansas or something. He's like, dude, let's do a podcast. Like, all right, let's do it. Then he just like sends me a message. He's like, all right, I got everything already. I was like,
I bought Joe Rogan's old podcast studio. Like, let's go.
Joe Rogan's on the first pod.
I was like, I guess this is for real.
I mean, the equipment you guys came into this house, we're recording at my house, right?
Yeah,
so
we forgot
like,
to mention that.
you guys are on the road here, but close by where you live for sure. Probably not as close to you, but really close to where you're at, Mondo. But the equipment you guys came here with is pretty like eye-opening. We have like two things. We have 2 microphones, our laptop, and then like a very small, I don't know what this is, an audio interface. I don't even know what it's called, right?
PodTrack 8 is what it's called. But I still don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I mean, this one thing is bigger than everything that we have together. And you guys came in with like all sorts of stuff. So,
but you guys are producing like quality content. So I mean,
oh, thanks, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you have.
There you go.
Stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny. We just interviewed Lindsay, and then she walked in. She's like, "What is all of this?"
I was like, "Who's the opening act that you're bringing the equipment for? Like, this is gonna be legit, man." Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, but it's been fun. But have you guys talked about an end goal? Like what you guys want out of the podcast, or it's kind of day-to-day thing?
I'd say more day-to-day. I'd like to see growth after every episode. Whether we can grow on the socials or views or downloads, whatever it is. If we can just, to me, day by day, little progress here and there, I'm super stoked on it. And anything that increases along the way, I think it's a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hobby, right? And to be honest, we've said this a lot, but we're so grateful that there's been people that want to hear it and listen to it, right? I mean, it's so bizarre to me. I've said that before, but we just do it because it's something to do. It's fun. It's a hobby, right? Like everybody has hobbies, and this is one of ours. And the fact that people listen to it is super cool, right? And so we're, like I said, super grateful for that. So as long as people keep listening and keep tuning in, and we'll keep cranking out episodes, and something like this where we're doing something with you guys who obviously started around the same time as us. I mean, just bringing more people together and getting content out, I think is pretty awesome too.
I think the coolest thing for me is like anybody who I never would have suspected coming up and being like, I enjoyed the podcast. And I'm just what podcast? Like, oh, ours? That's the craziest thing. And I'm sure you guys experience that all the time in the supporter section, being like,
yeah, we just got it the other day. There were some 12-year-olds who were like, they just walked by and they're like, you didn't play varsity. I'm like,
right. Yeah, I'll have to show that clip again, man.
That's funny.
I thought we might have to see who can do the crossbar challenge quicker.
Me and Danny Cow?
Yeah,
we're going to have to.
Me and Varsity.
That might be
I wanted to bring that up too, because I saw that you guys were talking about it, and I'm like, man, I haven't done one of those in forever. So I was playing indoor, and then my buddy Corey, who's the head brewer at Old Herald, his wife plays on my co-ed team. I was like, Molly, let's do this challenge. And I mean, I was like inches each time, and then I'm like, I got to get this in, before 5, or I can never bring this up. And I hit it on the 4th one.
There you go. So were you 18 yards out?
I think I was a little farther than that.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Did you play growing up?
Yeah, I played growing up.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like nothing too serious.
JV.
Yeah. Club ball. I did play JV. Yeah. I did.
So JV Mondo and Varsity Dan.
Yeah. So but he played for Granite. You would understand.
Oh yeah.
Anybody can play for Granite.
Hey, Granite at one time was the soccer.
No, we had a good
school
program.
around.
We had a good program.
Yeah. What was it?
Not when I was in high school.
Yeah.
That's way past our time.
This is true.
Back in our day when we were kicking an old dusty sack around the field.
Yeah, we asked him, we're like, what made you start a podcast? He's like, retirement. Yeah, I mean, I think my freshman year, like my cousin Beto, you said you know him too.
Yeah,
So I mean, that dude was probably the best defender I've ever seen, and that dude was on JV. So there's some stuff going on. I was like,
there was some politics for sure.
Yeah, because I played my sophomore year. I didn't play freshman year. Sophomore year, I played, and then I got into some trouble. Got off the team, so changed man now. Junior year, I tore my meniscus, and then I just quit playing. And then senior year is probably the best year I've ever played. And they're like, "We're not letting you back on." Didn't give me another opportunity, but
isn't that crazy to think like you could do something stupid at 15 or 16 years old, and that would carry with you your entire high school career? I mean, it's like give the guy a break.
Exactly, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
but
Well, with you playing, then what do you think his chances are of hitting the crossbar as far as
I've never seen you kick a ball.
Well, it's not great, but I mean,
a lot of people who have never seen him kick a ball. Yeah.
I've only seen it a couple times, and I'm me, so I don't know. I mean, look, am I super athletic? No, I played baseball. That was pretty much it. I'm not good at anything other than like the baseball skills, like hitting, throwing, and catching. So it'll be interesting, but I just think that I could probably do it. And I think that me and Danny out there together would be maybe some good content as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to watch. But I mean, I
actually played varsity.
Yeah, he did actually play. Yeah, it's not a joke. He did play. So I mean, that's how we met. We used to play back in the day. Like, I mean, if you were Hispanic in the same area, you were on the same team.
I got like a retirement soccer player body now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like you look at
the 1 year he took off, it was
more like 10. But I haven't actually played a game in probably 10 years, so it's been a while.
We got a buddy that's got a big time retired soccer player body.
Yeah.
But he still plays every now and then.
What's funny is I met him post soccer body, and so everybody's like, that dude was like all state, like the greatest athlete in the school, and I'm just like, that guy? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
boy, time has not been good to him.
Yeah, it's crazy how you see someone like these legends like Maradona.
Yeah.
He looked like a short, fat guy.
Samuel
you would never
Eto'o.
imagine.
Yeah, dude.
At one point, considered the best ever.
Oh, I know, right? Isn't it wild?
You got to think they got to keep their bodies,
Well, the thing is like, from the people I've noticed, like that I played with, when you go from running like 10 miles a day and drinking beer, and then you stop running 10 miles a day and keep drinking beer, Like things change a little bit.
Dude, I mean, just from me playing co-ed, because like that's all I do now is just play co-ed because I still enjoy playing.
Oh yeah.
So then like I used to just play every week or sometimes 2-3 times a week, and then the pandemic hit. And I started gaining weight, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? Because I was drinking beer while I was playing, but then you took the game out of it. Now I'm just drinking beer, like you said.
Yeah.
The amount of alcohol sales during the pandemic, I mean, it had to be through the roof, I would think. That's all that's all I did. There was a place nearby where I lived at the time that was a restaurant, and they like got it to where you could get to-go beer. That was like the big thing, right? So you could get
margaritas.
to go everything alcohol. And I'm like, I can drive through and get this now and just take it back to my house. Yeah, sure, So that was a game. I mean, that was a game changer.
Man,
local place still does it. So like we did that last Friday. We got to go 32-ounce margaritas.
Yeah.
Oh man,
heck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Before my wife was pregnant, that's what we did. To go margaritas, man.
That's a great way.
Oh man, but yeah, moving on here because you guys are in the South End, and we're in the North End. So you guys haven't been to the North End yet, right?
I did.
Oh, you did?
So the Cincy game, the tornado game, and everything like that. Right. I went by myself because they were like, the weather's supposed to be bad, and I was just like, yeah.
I die.
I was just like, it won't be that bad, and I was like checking the radar and everything like that, and I was like, oh, it's gonna miss us, and then all of a sudden it's just like, yeah, I'm in a staircase, waiting it out, and so. Since I went by myself, that was the first game I went by myself. I was like, I've always wanted to check out the supporter section and everything like that. So I was like, why not tonight? And I think now they like check to make sure you have supporter section tickets.
Yeah.
But that night they weren't. So I went out there and checked it out, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, because you just went over there.
Yeah, okay. I was like, if ever there's a night,
if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna be singing at the top of my lungs while I'm getting taken up in the air like Dorothy. Yeah, let's go.
I haven't done it. I'd like to. That's something we talked about. We actually talked about it as well. Is doing maybe another collab or whatever. Where we're talking about our experience over there in the North End. Something I'd like to do. We just haven't gotten around to it at this point.
Well, there's still time.
There's plenty of time. 5 more home games, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Well, we're hoping for.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, man, they're making playoffs. There's no way they're not.
No, of course.
No, at this point, I think.
At this point, I think we just need to try to secure home field.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's got to be the goal.
Yeah, because we always play much better at home. But yeah, back to that night when you said we were talking. I mean, that's where we met, and I felt bad. Man, I felt so bad because we had talked about meeting up and talking about the collab and stuff, and it was my diaper party that day. So I was drinking from 10 a.m. and I mean, I was done. And then I didn't check my phone at all. And then like an hour later, I saw that you messaged, and I'm like, and I'm a man of my word. So if I tell you I'm showing up, I'm showing up.
Yeah.
So then I saw it. I'm like, oh man, I gotta go find him. So I mean, and you had to save our spot.
Yep.
Right. So me and who else went with me? There was another guy, right?
Yeah, one other
Miggs
guy.
Maybe.
Miggs.
Yeah, it was Miggs. So I mean, we just went, and luckily I just saw the hats when I walked up, and I'm like, there they are.
We were under the in the concourse area anyway because it started raining.
Yeah,
so we came up out of our seats because of the rain.
Literally just in time. Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up hanging out.
There was a delay.
No, we talked for like an hour.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Right.
Yeah. It started raining. I'm like, yeah, Danny didn't want to come. He's saving our seat. And then you just see you running up the stairs from across the field.
I think literally the only reason we stopped talking is because we were like, I'm out of beer and I got to pee. And then we were like, oh, yeah. And then it was like, we heard over the announcements, like, there's going to be a delay. And we were like, for what? And it was just like, oh, like we missed that whole thing.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Imagine if there wasn't a delay, we just missed the whole game.
Everybody's cheering. We're like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, man, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, the North End has been absolutely insane. I mean, you could speak to that a little bit. It's just been
definitely wild. I mean, every game, it's like you leave there and the next day you can't even talk.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you go in planning to be in the North End, or were you just?
So
did you have plans on where you wanted to be?
So how it happened was back in November, I think, that last City 2 game. They played Bayern Leverkusen.
Yep. That was freezing that day, wasn't it? We didn't go to that.
I still can't feel my toes.
Yeah.
But Akil Watts came up and handed me his last jersey, and I was like, oh, dude, this is sick. And I always carry a marker with me. That game I didn't. And so I like messaged him. I was like, hey, man, you come back and sign it? He's like, yeah, if you come up to the home opener, like, I'll sign it. I'm like, cool. So then we had to get up front so he could see us to sign it. Mm-hmm. Came up and signed it, and we just loved it. We fell in love. And I'm like, not with Akil. The spot.
It was a love at first sight.
I don't know. He's got a little bit of love for it.
Yeah. So then I'm like, we have to come here every time.
That's cool.
That's awesome. We see you straight from, because you're usually in the yellow.
Yeah, the bright yellow. And what's crazy about that is like I didn't know, like if you're wearing like we couldn't wear green there. It's not the team color, so they'll either make you change shirts or kick you out.
But yellow works.
So yellow's good, just because it's part of the color scheme.
Yeah.
Except for the Club America game, right?
Yeah,
you guys couldn't do it.
Yeah, what did we?
Blue.
We wore blue.
Blue, I think.
Yeah,
Pink.
Yeah.
Pink.
No, pink. We wore pink.
We wore pink.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah,
Does that classify as city red, I guess?
Yeah, I mean,
That's a good point.
It's not as this. Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, but I mean, that
nobody
game was
was
wild
tripping.
too.
That was wild. Did you see?
Did you guys get maced?
We didn't get maced, but did you see what was going on up there? I mean, it was right above us because where we sit. I mean, we can look to the right and see the visitor supporting section, right? So it's right there.
Right.
And we had looked up at one point and didn't really know what was going on, but you could see everybody kind of cover their face up with their shirts. And we kind of caught wind of what was going on, and man, it was a pretty wild scene up there for a bit.
Yeah, shortly after that is when they put off that yellow smoke, and that I'm sure it made its way to your guys.
Yeah, well, we saw that smoke, and I'm like,
saw it in the whole support.
are they allowed to do that? He's like,
What's
no.
going on?
Yeah. I mean, it was like the craziest like sulfur smell ever. Too.
Yeah,
I mean, you can smell some of the smoke bombs from the north end. Occasionally we get them, but this was like super strong. So much yellow smoke had went up.
Yeah.
It was a wild scene. I mean, it made me want to, as like weird as it sounds, like go to Estadio Azteca and like experience 87,000 of them, just like going crazy.
Last time.
Yeah. Well, we would make sure
We're wearing Club America jerseys if we do that.
Wear bulletproof vests. But I mean, that's how like I could tell like we're in our own little world because I mean that's the day Ezra came to Old Herald and we announced that. Well, we didn't announce it, but we were like recording it and stuff. Yeah. So he came down to the north end with us for a little bit, and then the next day I'm like watching videos. I'm like, what? That really happened up there? I'm like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. And I was up there like around that time. Like I was up there looking for Ezra because he was up there in that area.
Really?
So I walked up there.
Up there?
Yeah, and because he goes around. So he goes, yeah, I'm in the 200 level, whatever. So me and my brother walked up there, and we were in that section. And then we left, and then all that stuff started happening.
Man, they were making so much noise. I was like blown away. How many Club America supporters do you think were at that game?
Yeah, we've been trying to.
I mean, like percentage wise, what do you think? Like 80% America fans.
No way.
No, not at.
I think so. That's what it looked like to me.
It's what it sounded like. So that's what it sounded like.
That was the first game we couldn't hear the north end.
Not at all.
We only heard.
Were you guys doing anything down there? Like we couldn't hear you guys.
Yeah, we were getting loud. But I mean, it was tough. But
it was tough because we got scored on pretty early.
And this is the thing, though.
Scored on again.
Yeah, if you're looking around, there's a lot of America fans in the supporter section that weren't wearing the jerseys.
Oh, really?
Because you got to think those are the most affordable tickets.
Sure.
And so a lot of them bought those tickets but couldn't wear their jerseys.
Were they cheering?
Were they cheering?
Oh yeah, every time they scored, like I mean.
There was because there was two with us,
right? Yeah. More than
that didn't have their
because Lalo,
brother.
our producer or whatever. He's a huge fan. And
is he the guy you got the signed card for?
Yeah. So he was right behind us. So like I said, like every time they'd score, I'm like,
you know what? After the game, I saw there was people with their jerseys under like other stuff, and then they ripped it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. I'm like, there's a lot more than
there was no. I would say maybe like 30.
25 to 30 is what I said
20,
too.
20,
but it was loud.
Percent?
Yeah, we thought like gazing the stadium and seeing like yellow and cheering and stuff like that. We thought 30%.
Yeah,
because we had a lot on our section too.
Down on our end, both the supporter section to our right and then all the way to the left was pretty predominantly yellow. And then it was like scattered throughout the east and west side, but we didn't think there was anything on the north end. But that's wild.
That's crazy then. If it's like 30% and it was like a home game, like if there's 70% more City fans and they took over that's crazy.
They made, so much noise, and like the experience was pretty incredible. Like walking in and seeing, we saw a mariachi band out front.
Yeah.
There were vendors selling Club America's, gear, right? So jerseys and that as well, and hats and everything.
I'm still mad I didn't buy those tacos because I thought those things were
probably awesome. Man. Yeah, I mean, it was a different, totally unique experience. Like, I mean, obviously the result, we talked about this on our podcast, like the result was not what you were looking for, but still super cool, to get a chance to experience all that and hear it and see some of the extracurriculars that were going up in whatever section that is to something.
Yeah. But it was wild because like I showed up super early and like all I saw was America fans. Like everywhere I turned, there's one, and I'd be like, "Hey, you dropped something." They'd look down. I'm like, "Red card."
You red carded the fans? Oh, that's awesome.
And then I'd hand out like, "Keep it. You know, you'll need it later."
That's so cool. Yeah, when we were pulling in, we went like I don't even know what street we were on. But we went like around the stadium, and then turned down Olive and tried to get into our garage. We always park in that garage right there across the street from it, and it was full. We couldn't get into it, and we don't have like a parking pass with our tickets. But when we did that, I mean, we saw more probably yellow shirts than any City fans coming into that. So we knew going into it when we got downtown that this was going to be a different type of experience.
No, when we were pulling up, I thought it was like almost rare that I was pointing them out like, oh, there's actually Club America fans over at that stoplight. And then it was like, oh no,
that's all there is.
Oh, that's all we saw. And it was like, oh, this is going to be
I think we did a pretty good job of limiting the damage as far as, the way it looked on TV, because if you look at some of the other games that have been played, some of the other games that they've, gone to, it's like 90%.
No, I agree. So I went back and watched it just to see, were we making noise? And through the TV, it sounded way different. Like we were there.
Yeah, we were just, it was drowned out because we were right by by the supporters. I mean, they had their drums and all sorts of things they were making noise with. So, and we've had like, I think Kansas City traveled pretty well. Kansas City filled up a couple of sections up there, I think.
Yeah, but they got quiet quick.
They got quiet very quick. And so we could hear the supporters. We could hear the supporters pretty much immediately. Yeah. But not for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sporting KC. That was the first MLS game I think I've been to, was Sporting KC. And the atmosphere, it's pretty boring from when we went, but I mean, it is what you make it.
Are you guys thinking about going? What is that, like Labor Day weekend? I think
there's no way I'm about to have a kid.
The kid. There's no way. Of course. Yeah.
But I mean, next season, I think we're gonna make some plans, go out a few.
Yeah,
for sure. Nashville. Maybe we'll all link up.
Yeah, that would be great.
For sure.
Nashville, anything within driving distance.
It's part of the job, baby. I gotta go.
Can we write that off as the question?
Right. Yeah.
Oh man. So talking about that, talking about the Leagues Cup and the different games and stuff. Like, what has been like some good highlights for you guys?
Just watching it in general. I mean, it's got to be messy. I think for me, like, and that sounds like a cheap answer, perhaps. I mean, like a really easy one, but what he's been doing is incredible. And again, somebody like myself who is relatively new to the sport, and I mean, can appreciate and always watched it like at a kind of maybe like a safe distance, I suppose. I wasn't really into it like I am now, but seeing him come over and do what he's done and done it in such a short amount of time. I think I saw the other day he's like the 4th or 5th on like the list of most goals scored in Miami history.
Miami, I think he passed
with 7. He's done it in 4 games.
Yeah, but Miami's been bad.
And all
But it's just incredible, like to see that. And I've been into it, man. I've been watching a lot more of it than I thought I would. I watched the Club America game against Chicago. And I bet on every Miami game, and it's been a pretty profitable Leagues Cup for me because of that.
Yeah, it's been easy money.
I know. Well, I quit betting, and then I'm like, maybe I'll re-download the app.
I remember you telling me that you had a big win, and you were like, "I'm out." I'm like, "That's unlike any gambler I've ever heard."
Yeah, well, it took a little bit, but what about you?
For Leagues Cup, just Leagues Cup, or
this season in general?
Oh man, the season. I mean, for me, being a passionate soccer fan my whole life, just that Charlotte game, like just being able to be like, this is my team. Like every team I've supported, or the team I've supported, has been overseas. So it's like, maybe I'll make it there one day. And so to be able to be there like every day, it was just like, this is amazing. But there's been been the best part of the season. You could pick a handful of moments. I mean, Miggy's first goal was amazing. That Kansas City game where it's like, oh, this is a rival. Like, and I was like that idiot who like has been watching way too many English games, like throwing like the hands up at the supporters. Like it's just been amazing to me to have a team of our own.
Yeah. And that's to what, to my point too. It's like, look, when you asked it initially, I thought you were talking specifically to the Leagues Cup, but the city as a whole, I mean, it's Kansas City for me. I thought that was the best game, the SKC game.
Yeah, you were.
I was so into, because like, look, I was a huge Rams fan, right? Yeah. Huge. And so whenever I see like the town itself kind of like, well, we can't support whatever, and then like Kansas City come over here and be able to show that, hey, like we can support anything here, not just a baseball town. It's not just a hockey town, right? It's a lot. And the way that game played out, the atmosphere was like, unlike anything I had experienced, as far as that, like, atmosphere goes, and just being loud and so much energy. It felt like a playoff game, and I went to Rams playoff games when they were here as well. And obviously a lot of Cardinals playoff games and that too. And to score like we did early on like that. And again, to hear that crowd up to the right of us really quiet down and see you guys going crazy over there and us trying to follow suit, was really incredible.
Yeah, and then I would feel like highlights for us is just like the random times we just run into players.
Yeah,
like it's just been crazy, and like actually getting to know them a little bit. Yeah, it's like the access to them.
Yeah, I mean, and that's cool too. Actually, my wife and I's anniversary, we were at Capitol Grill in Clayton. And we look over to the right, and Blom is sitting right next to us. I mean, like from me to Eric, like right here, And we got to talking, and my wife was like, "I think that's Blom. I think it's Blom." I said, "I think it is too," And he's talking to whoever he was with, and this is before the game that was really, really cold, whatever game that was. But it was like after the first game against Charlotte, and I talked to him a little bit, and I said, "Hey, are you Blom?" He's like, "Yeah, I am." I was like, "Hey, we're season ticket holders. We sit over here, in the second row of the south end," and he was thanking us and everything. We got a picture with him. Really nice guy. Yeah. Said he hated the weather, just complaining about how cold it was, but I mean, yeah, the players seem to have. I see on the socials always some fan with a picture of a player or some kind of positive story, and I just don't think you get that with every sport.
Yeah. Oh no. So I was telling him. So I went down for spring training at Cardinals. Mm-hmm. Not a single player would come up and sign something.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But I mean, maybe it was just that 1 week I went down there. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, for you guys in the north end, you get plenty of player interaction. It seems like.
Well,
I mean,
not as much lately, right?
Lately it's been a little weird.
Yeah, like at first they would come down, and then now it's like they're hitting every other spot, but they don't. They'll run up, and do the clap, but then they'll
I wonder if it's because they hit you guys last, and they're just like we're out at this point. Plus, by the time they get to you, none of them have jerseys left, or none of them.
Yeah, I know.
That's the problem.
They're done. Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, you were saying it too. You noticed it first, right? About the players not coming as much.
Yep.
Because they probably don't want a red card. We got to show up next week. That's.
Have you given a city player a red card?
I don't know if we have. Have we?
I gave Bartlett one.
Oh yeah, you did. You gave him a yellow card.
Was it a yellow?
Yeah, you gave him a yellow because he had just gotten one, so he's like, "I'll add to it." Yeah. Well, 2 yellows make a red.
It wasn't during the game though.
It was afterwards, but yeah, it's been crazy. But hey, I know we talked about the crossbar challenge. Let's talk about PKs. You think you guys could score a PK on Berkey?
Oh. I feel like he would somehow hear this and be like, "Oh yeah, I mean,
that's what we're hoping, honestly.
Get him out.
Yeah, I mean, Berkey, I'm coming for you, dude. I can easily put one past Berkey. How many chances do I get?
So we said 3 for him, but I mean, you played a lot.
But I think I only need 1.
Yeah,
3?
Yeah. I mean,
I think I could get one in there.
Yeah, I think with 3, I think I'd get one.
Here's the deal. All right, my wife played goalie in college, and when I first met her, she said there's no way I could score a PK on her. And we never did it, but I mean, I talked a lot of trash about this. Pretty much for the majority
Still
of
to this day, you haven't?
I'm probably going to bring it up to her tonight. We might make a field goal,
You just chugged the city referee with this ball.
right now in the backyard.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, look, he's incredible, right? And I am not. I'm the opposite of incredible when it comes to this sport. But I mean, it seems like it could be done.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, you just gotta pick a spot, commit.
Yeah,
you just gotta hope he goes the wrong way.
Exactly.
A lot of it's mind games.
Yeah. I might come up with something goofy to do at the line,
pull your pants down.
You know what I mean? Who knows?
What is
Did you
this?
see that Mexican league?
I was gonna say, I was just about to bring that up. Did you see the Leagues Cup game where the dude was pulling? The mime was the best, but
he pulled
strings out of his mouth.
Yeah. Was that the goalie who did it?
Yeah.
I was
he got a yellow for it.
Did he
then
really?
He blocked it.
I didn't see that.
Then he made the save. Well, they won the game.
But it was his third magic trick after they were eventually they're like, we gotta card this guy.
Yeah, the referee's
he's time wasting. He's a PK challenge.
He saved them all, which is sad because now you're gonna see college kids all over the place practicing their mime skills. They're like, hey, it works.
Well, the referee thought it was a show. He's just watching it, and he's like, oh shoot, we gotta put the game here.
Yeah.
Well, now we know. Hey, start practicing for Berkey.
I'm going to.
Oh man, but yeah, man, it's been great talking to you boys.
For sure.
I'm glad we got this collaboration going. Probably first of many. Keep it going.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't see why not.
I would say we've met up the past couple games and it's been fun hanging out.
So next season, let's make it a goal to go to a away game together.
For sure. We got some friends that are sitting in the third row behind us that are going to that KC game. And I've kicked the idea around. You're in the same boat as him.
I'll say we'll be going to Kansas City next year with kids strapped to our chest.
Yeah.
We'll
But they've got some kind of all-inclusive deal out there. I don't know if you sat there before, but like this Bud Light lounge thing.
I heard about it.
$100.
Seems like a great deal, man.
All inclusive.
Great deal.
You can't get an all-inclusive ticket in City Park for $100. I promise you.
Barely get into City Park for $100.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. So pretty good deal, and that's where they're sitting at. And I thought that sounded kind of interesting. So we definitely want to make sure we get to a couple of away games. I want to experience that, and I know you've done a lot of that and traveled to some of the other supporter sections. So it's definitely a goal of ours for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's a little different when you have a team, right?
Yeah.
You have a team, and
Yeah.
like, I'm in here, and luckily I can wear the referee gear now, but because I hate wearing other team stuff.
Yeah.
Well, especially now, but
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine doing that now.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Well, cheers, brothers.
Cheers.
Okay, we got it. There we go.
Great beer.